Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and we are taking a look today at some Montreal Canadiens rumors. So, Pierre-Luc Dubois has been pretty adamant that he wants to test free agency in his contract season, and he has every right to do so. Now, he already told the Jets that that's what he plans on doing, and it's probably not going to be returning to Winnipeg. So, the main destination we've been hearing since then is the Montreal Canadiens. So this is from Pierre-Luc Dubois has been practically trying to force a trade to the Canadiens for months. According to Montreal insider Arpon Basu and Winnipeg Jets insider Marat Otz, Dubois attended the NHL draft this June in Montreal because he believed his trade would be completed on the draft floor that night. Winnipeg and Montreal continue to try and work out a deal to send Dubois to the Canadiens. So, that's kind of interesting, right? Especially considering where the Jets are at right now. Remember, they acquired him in a deal for Patrick Laine just a couple of seasons ago. And now Dubois is on his way out again. Dubois right now is a restricted free agent. He's 24 years old and doesn't want to sign long-term in Winnipeg and is telling the Jets, listen, I'm going to be up front. I don't want to sign long-term here. The Jets are looking at it as, well, if he doesn't want to play here, why do we want to keep him? But then Montreal is on the side of, well, if we want him, what's the price going to be? And I think that's the biggest disparity for Dubois. So Dubois right now, he had a really good season last year, and that's going to help him out. He had 60 points last season in 81 games with the Winnipeg Jets. And that is his highest point total in a season since the 2018-19 season, where he put up 61 points in 82 games. And again, that was 3 years ago. So when you look at it in that sense, Dubois is a guy that's going to, on a normal season, he can score you 25 to 35 goals a season, right? Somewhere in that range, because that's where his average has been, right? At most 28 goals, which was last year, but he has the potential to probably hit 30, right? Nothing against the Blue Jackets or the Jets. You put him on a team that has the offense around him, he can give you 30 plus goals any given season, right? For a full 82 game schedule. So Dubois is one of those guys where the value is there. He's a guy that's going to put up points. He was, again, 60 points last year. That's no joke. But he also put up a lot of penalty minutes. And the Habs can say, listen, well, he is a little bit of a liability in terms of, being in the penalty box a lot. Some question his attitude a little bit, which I don't think is completely fair, but that is something that's out there. Look at Tony DeAngelo, for example. A little different, but that stuff is out there. So what do the Habs have to give up? Because they have a ton of draft picks, they have a ton of prospects, and they have just guys in general. So what do you do? Well, here's the thing. What are the Jets doing? Because are the Jets right now, if they lose Dubois, are they still trying to compete? Because they do have Hellebuck, Scheifele, Wheeler, but we're hearing that those guys could be on their way out within the next year or two. So if that's the case, then what direction do you go post Dubois? Because if you're trading Dubois, are you trying to get players that can play now, or do you want guys that can be futures, right? Meaning draft picks and prospects. But I don't see the Habs wanting to give up draft picks and prospects to get Dubois, right? Ideally, you'd want to get rid of a contract. Whether that's, you don't want to trade Josh Anderson, but a Josh Anderson or one of those contracts, that's something that could work. So if I'm Montreal, I like the idea of Dubois coming in. But the question is, who goes the other way, right? Because you look at the Habs forward group, they've got a lot of centers there, right? You look at the Montreal Canadiens, you have Nick Suzuki. You have some of the younger guys that you're not sure about, right? You traded one of them in Paling. But you look down the middle, it's Suzuki, Dvorak, Byron, Evans, Rem Pitlick, right? And Kirby Dach now. And that's where things change a little bit, because now Kirby Doc coming in is kind of that screwball. Because is he the second line center, or do they see him more as a third line guy? And if they see him more as a third line guy, well, then Dubois can play on the second line center role. So you've got Suzuki, Dubois, and Doc. And I would say that's a very, very solid top three centers in the National Hockey League. Now, again, for the price you paid for Doc, you kind of expect him to be that second line center, right? So that's where things are kind of interesting, right? So, I mean, Dubois is not going to play on the third line, right? So I think it's going to be interesting. I think Dubois really wants to play in Montreal, and he's kind of forcing his hand here with a trade. And, whether he's being a little bit of a diva or not, that's up for determination. But this is a really good hockey player that can put up, again, on a good season, 50 to 70 points per year. So he's going to get his worth. He's going to be worth something. The Habs have the cap space if they want to, right? Once guys go on LTIR, like Carey Price, they would have the money to get that done. Can they trade the final year of Jonathan Drouin's contract? Probably not. But again, probably going to go on LTIR. So they're going to have cap space to work with. It's just a matter of finding the assets to get the deal done for Dubois. I think that's an interesting look. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. What do you think of the Montreal Canadiens going after Pierre-Luc Dubois? Do you think there is something to this trade rumor? And leave some mock trades for what you think the Habs could give up for Dubois. I think that's kind of interesting. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.